Okay, guys, here we come. All right, here I am. Let's see if that's broadcasting. I don't understand why that's dark. It's dark over here. Well, hi. I'm Mark Black, guys, and this is Mark Teaches Music. Welcome. This is the 28th day of February. Have I got a signal? Not very loud, is it? Checkity check, check, check. Here we go. Well, I guess that's better. Looks better. Okay, so this is the 28th day of February, 2003, last day of February, and I want you to have fun and be awesome. So in this, we have two things here. We have the Improv Workshop, which is improvising, duh, and then we have the to play and sing question and answer, which is at the end. It's about 40 minutes, 45 minutes from now. So anyway, the point is that so we're trying to learn this part, learning to get better at improvising by, guess what, improvising. And anybody can improvise. It's not hard. Hey, I see that little thumbs up. Thank you, thumbs up. And the I wouldn't say it's not hard. It's not hard to start, and it's so a good place to start. Anyway, so the if you're interested in lessons, go to www.dallasmusiclessons.com, and there's information about both me and about taking lessons and how to get a hold of me and that kind of stuff. We're trying to learn in our ad-libbing thing we're fixing to do. We're trying to learn and not just ad-lib. Like it sounds terrible and it sounds terrible week after week. It sounds terrible. Yeah, it's still terrible. Yeah, terrible. No, we're trying to get better at it. So I'll talk about things and to add stuff to it. So anyway, so we'll learn. So if you got a request for a style or for me to play a different instrument, or you can say, hey, I never see you play the so and so instrument that allegedly you play, or we never have any, I never hear any Mongolian wind singing, or any Buddhist monk, whatever, if you got something either as a question but also as a style or something, we'll try it because I'm trying to hit things, but I would tend to be like, well, that was cool, and like everybody love that, but maybe perhaps on different styles, too strong on certain styles, or not enough representation for other styles. So just send a request. Just send me an email at mark@dallasmusiclessons if you got anything like that. So and hit subscribe. You can just mail me money, Venmo me money. No, what's it? Zelle Pay, and hit subscribe, hit the notification button, and share. Get other people to come. You really should do that. Get other people to come, and that would be mighty pleasing to me. So anyway, there's links for the scales and stuff. I need to know. I do need to know from you guys if the last several times I've been displaying the chart we're using, like this picture, and I can't decide if that's good, like wow, that's really helpful, or if that's like distracting. I know visually it's kind of bothering me, but that doesn't mean that it's not worth doing. And I'm going to continue to do it, but I'd like to hear from you guys to say, no, that's not helpful, or that's really helping me a lot. Because part of the thing in ad-libbing is that you know what's coming up. And I don't necessarily mean intellectually. It doesn't have to be the left brain, math brain, here comes a C chord, but it could be the right brain, music brain, saying, here comes that sound. Here's that sound coming up. And so I want to go here for that sound. If both things together would be the perfect thing. You're doing both things at once. So anyway, so we want to understand our music. So it's helpful to have a chart, even if you are making stuff up and you're not necessarily tied to the chart. It's just, oh yeah, here comes that little key change part, or here comes that little funny thing. Our second song is going to have several different little things in it. This song, first song, is named by me. I have named this song I Slap with Funk is the name of this song. I Slap with Funk. And it's in D minor. So anyway, um, so it's going to be fun. So don't just sit there when it's your turn. When it's my turn to play, let me play and listen and kind of absorb or think, I'll show him, whatever. And then when it's, hey, Tom, And then when it's your turn, jump in. Don't wait, because it's not. We don't get a big long turn. So anyway, so we're going back and forth. If you hear something, either you hear something in your head that you'd like to hear, figure that out in your turn. If you hear me play something that you like, figure that out. You know, and you can. And it's also not so bad to identify things you don't like. Like that was boring. What you did was boring. What I did was boring or ugly. And if you, I'm seriously to identify. I'm not talking about like that was bad, but rather say, hey, okay, that was the first note of the scale followed by the seventh, or those are 16th notes or whatever. To define it in some way that out of the many thousands of things to do, you can say these are the great things I love. These are the things I don't like so much. That's all very helpful. So playing in different styles helps a lot. Helps us all. Identifying things that are good and bad helps us all. And if you happen to not doing this in the live stream and you're watching the video, that's super fine. And like I said, email me at mark@dallasmusiclessons if you got questions. The thing to do is to learn. But also, various tracks are easier than other ones. Some of these are very easy. Every song, both songs are in one key, not changing keys. And then again, you should have downloaded, if possible, and printed, and at least pull up and look at, the correct key for which should be, and it is in the description for the song. And listen, it's great. It's a great and a good challenge when you're like, this is a hard key. What do you do? It's hard key. What do you do when the song's faster than you want to play? What do you do when you don't really like the song that much? I don't mean it like a suck it up, but it's more like you become a better musician when you figure out stuff like that. Here, how I make this work. So again, the first song is in D minor, and actually this is so small I can't tell what that says. It looks like it says, I guess the only way I can figure it out is by making it go away. I think that's the wrong song. Let's see if it goes away. Yeah, it didn't. Well, let's I guess it'll tell me the name if I look down here. It says Honky Tonk Woman. It must not be that. The song today is I Slap With the Funk. Yes, the first song. Okay, so there it is. So here I got my world's funkiest instrument, the flute, well known as a funk instrument, and all the funk bands have flautists, very well known. So that's what we're going for, buddy, is the get down and flute, da 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 da. Yeah. And so let's listen to our little chart, which is go, hey, Jeffrey. So here's our chart. And again, I say the first thing we're trying to do is absorb what this song X, is doing. What's it like? What's it, the speed, but also mostly the chord changes and stuff. And I'm not hearing anything, am I? Oh, yeah. Helps to do this. That's that D minor, and there's the B flat. Just hear this right there, that nut right there. That's the G minor. And y'all can let me know if it's too soft. Alright. Now that's the whole song. Now this is all in the F scale, or D minor, D natural minor. There's the B flat. There's the D minor. And now right here, oh my gosh, we're on the wrong, this may hang us up. We're on the slow, stupid internet connection, not the slick. Yes. Oh, da da do do do. Okay. I gotta see when this switches. Yeah, I see that. Okay, if anybody if anybody hearing me out there, send me a little note or something. I just turned the flute sideways so I can see it. Oh, it's okay. So that should be the fast connection now. It seems to be okay now, says somebody that I love. So anyway, so my point was, right here where you see in the chart, you see the A7. That's the 5 chord. D, E, F, G, A. Fifth note of a scale. So here it is, the fifth, and it's a major chord. That means that it's got the 7 note of scale is only a half step away from the root, or 1 fret if it's a guitar. So anyway, that would just mean that right here, if you are a C instrument, it'd be you change your F scale, the D minor scale, to have a C sharp in it. Da 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 da. And if you're a B flat instrument, you would change your E minor scale to have a D sharp in it. Da 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 da. And that would be on the A7, and also where it says C sharp on the bottom measure. Okay, so we're going to ad lib now, make up for lost time. We're going to jump in there. We're going to do it right. All right, so here we go. Let's see. Got to get sound going. We're not stopping now. And I will start. Wait, here comes a duck. All right, here we go. Yeah. Yeah. Your turn. Keep going. Keep going. That's the D minor. Line 4 coming up, line 4. Here's the C sharp. Now it's my turn. Your turn. Keep going. Back to the top, D minor. Okay. Okay. Now, this is my turn. And so I wanted to say, so we're said one thing. This song at the end of the second and the fourth line changes, and just one little thing. It just changes. If you're a C instrument, it changes the C natural to a C sharp. So D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C sharp. If you're a B flat instrument, it changes the D to a D sharp, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D sharp. If you're on a guitar, you're just like, for example, a 6 pentatonic pattern, which would be do, 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 1 fret higher. So anyway, right there, we said that thing has to happen. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is funk. So we need to play choppy things. That I may not be doing that, but it's just cause of pressure to play. So I should be leaving spaces. I should make things choppy. Funky, a definition for funk could be, thank you, Jeffrey, A definition for funky could be short and choppy. And that is certainly, if you say play funkier, you would mean short and choppier. So I'm just commenting. In your soloing, let's do some short and choppy stuff. So I think I stopped. Let's see. All right, now I'll just take this 4 measures. Your turn. Okay, now I'll take this. That G minor part. Okay, just let me say it's my turn. So I'm going to say, I'm going to go through this time. I'm just going to outline every chord. Now, chords are built in thirds, right? So all these chords are built D, F, A, some kind of D, some kind of F, some kind of A. All G chords are built G, B, D, some kind of G, some kind of B, some kind of D. So you can experiment if you don't actually know the notes of the chords. I'm showing you that if I outline the notes of the chords, it sounds very solid. We've talked about this several times. Anything we do, play high notes, play slow notes, play short notes, we do it. It's like a magician's trick. If we keep doing it, somebody's going to figure it out. So we don't just do whatever we do. We don't just keep doing it indefinitely. We do it some. And that's so when we say we're going to get bored, y'all get bored. Listen to me outline these chords. However, imagine just doing it for maybe 3 measures. I'm not going to do it through the whole one time through the whole thing just to kind of illustrate. And I think I need to back up just a tad. Okay, here we go. Outline the chord and the D chord. B flat, the D minor again, the B flat, the A, G minor, D minor, G minor, the C, okay, you go. One time all the way through. Brass are very good on funk. Guitars are very good on funk. Bass, of course, you hear the bass. And that walking bass. G minor. Comes that change? The C sharp. the F major scale. Keep going, D minor. All right, F minor part. Okay, so I'm gonna stop on this song. I'll go to the next song in a second. So I Slap with Funk was that song. Yes, a bit of culture for us all. And then the two things I think I said, I may have said three things. Well, I did say three things. So if we use just the notes, now the sheet that you got about D natural minor, playing in this, I have that on the sheet, and it says that the chords that would normally be in this key would be D minor, G minor, and A minor. And you see you don't have an A minor, you have an A7. So that would indicate the change. We're going to learn these things. I'm saying, telling you, you're noticing these things because you want to learn that, not have somebody tell you, hey, this word may raise a 7, but you learn that yourself. However, the song is really probably in D minor because of that B flat chord. I don't think it's really using the C sharp in most of the song, because the harmonic minor sounds like this all by itself. Sort of a classical sound. So I'm just saying I left it in that. So I'm saying for to notice that what is the 5 chord? Is it a minor or a major? That would indicate natural minor. Then I said the thing about funk being short and leaving spaces, whether I did that or not. And of course, you know, we do that some, and then I did pretty stuff. I'm on a flute, so I can't quite be as funky as perhaps I should. And then I said also outlining the chords. And if you do not know the notes, now it's in the key of D minor / F, right? So I'm just saying what are the notes in the G chord in this key? Notes. This is the notes of the F scale. So the G so it's the notes of the F scale starting on a G, B flat D. Now you try that, and let's say you try to go G B D, and you don't go, oh my gosh, I give up, I'm wrong, and never gonna try it again. You just say, oh, well, that wasn't it. I got to alter one of these tones so to get to that place. Okay, so we said, okay, now the next song is indeed the next song. The next song is a jazz song, a bossa nova, because you're the boss, we're the bosses. And let me get that chart up, both for myself and for us, for you guys. This is named Mute Those Trumpets. Tom, so when you beat those trumpets, and let's switch that. Oh yeah, we have to switch this completely. Let's see what I get. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Huh. Well, that's not right at all. Oh, I see now. Yeah. Well, I may have to give up on my. It looks like I've done some weird positioning. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, I see. I see. So you can't actually see this. And we'll look at this whole thing, but let's listen. Let's play it. This song is in the key of D. It goes out of the key of D quite a few places, several places. We'll come back to this in a minute. Changing, but I think we'll just play it. Let's listen to it. And cool, Boss Your Mama's Nova song, and here it is. For some reason, the bass didn't come out loud. I got it cranked up all the way I can do it. And there's the D chord. What here sounds like home bass? When you hear something unusual, it means you stepped out of the key. Let me change this song on this stupid. Sound. Stop that. And let me get a different. Where's my beautiful picture here? There's this. I know you guys can't see what's going on here. Let me here. I figure if I'm playing an instrument with a what do you call this thing? A fretboard. You should be able to see the fretboard. Now let's just see. Could I possibly? I can't make it. Okay, so let's ad-lib to this a bit, and I'll start. And here we go. Now look, if it. Oh, goodness gracious! What's happened to my face? Well, that's not what I want, is it? I guess. I need to bring my little head down here. I don't think this is what I was doing before. Yeah. Here we go. That'll work. What a silly look. All right, here we go. Ad-libbing. Do 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 dee do 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 do. Ba do 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 do. All right. How loud is this? like the top again. This is kind of like night and day. You are the wall. This is the D scale. Steps out of the D scale, adds a G sharp. Okay, now I want to pause. It's my turn. And so I want to pause and say, so all I want to say is that when you hear these things, so this song compared to what we've done before, it's just in one key, and then plenty of the other songs that we've done, many of the other songs are just in one key or two keys or something. And so the point is when it changes, it's like pretty manageable. And here's this song that I'm looking at it. If you want to count any note out of the key as a new key, it goes to 1, 2, 3, 4, and the original key 5. If you want to count times that it goes to that, then it's more like 10 times because it goes to, for example, to G minor, it does that twice, and it goes to A twice, you know, and it goes to whatever. So my point is, when that happens, your ear is telling you, first your ear says, oh my gosh, something, you're thinking that's cool, that's a neat sound, the chorus. So you need attached to that, that means a note has changed. I don't mean that a song can't be good or interesting unless it changes keys, but I'm saying it's easy to discern, like the song Jessica. That's a really cool song. Most of it's only in one key. It's linear in its interest. So it's not changing harmonies. It's changing exciting, interesting things in what they're doing with that. So anyway, so we hear something that's interesting or neat, and you're like, I bet that, I wonder if a note change. Second thing with that is that it's usually only one note. You know, this is songs in the key of D. It goes to the key of A. That just means that instead of 2 sharps, it's 3 sharps. Instead of a G, it goes to G sharp. In the song, it goes from not the key of G minor, but the chord of G minor. Yes, and so that means that you're going and just one note. One note. So what I'm telling you to do is not freak out and say, oh my God, it changed, but to be like, okay, what is that note? What is that note? And for example, let's say when it goes to the key of A, if you miss that, you couldn't figure out what in the world the note to change. Well, the difference between the key of D and the key of A being one note, that means 6 of the notes in the key of D work in the key of A. So stay on those notes. Do it by ear. Yes, we can use our brain, but sometimes the brain is a bit confusing, yeah? All right, so back to ad-libbing on this song, and we'll start over just to make it symmetrical. And I'll start on my D. Your turn. Don't get discouraged if it changes. supposed to be the last 8 measures, but it's actually the last 12 measures. Because this song has a long tag. Here's the tag. Stepping in a circle, getting his back around. Here we are at the ear top. Back the key. How pleasant this song is. Okay, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna go. Your turn. Like what you did. D. That's still D. Just not starting on the D. Keep going. Here's the key of A. But it's back. Back in D. Keep going. Still D. Take this. Your turn. Take it home. It's gonna end now. Exciting. It's got to be kind of indish. Okay, now we're okay. So now that is we're through ad-libbing. I wanted to comment about the ad-libbing just to say that not really sure, what I feel like that we're supposed to do with this channel is to make things plain. Make it plain. I'm trying to make it plain. And it's not that I'm trying to make things simple as much as I'm trying to say almost everything that you listen to and want to play, you can play if you just get the right angle on it. So it's like saying, hey, D minor. It's the same as the F scale that you're playing in band, or D Dorian minor. Is the notes of that scale just raised the 6th scale degree, and guess what? That turns out to be the notes of the C scale, but starting on D. But I'm just saying I'm trying to say that this channel is about revealing things like that and being like, hey, I can do that. I can play the key of C. I can do that, and just a whole host of things like that. Now, but on the other hand, I don't want to make everything so simple that you're going like, well, I love this song and these kinds of songs. And yet they go through all these keys and I can't negotiate them. So just thought I'd let this song kind of stand like it is. Not really that complicated compared to many, many, many jazz songs. But on the other hand, what I want you to notice is when things change and you're playing the scale and it was great a minute ago and now it doesn't sound quite right. And then right when you kind of start to change and get to changing, it goes back. Oh, wait, it's gone now, whatever that thing was. And that is the reality of before you have all the tools to be able to look at the chords. Now, in classical music, they're going to write, and I have a degree in oboe, just by the way, so it means I know my classical music, baby. So I'm saying in classical music, they're going to write key signature changes and they're going to write accidentals, and you're not actually going to even know what's going on. It's just going to follow the dots. But in all pop music, it's just you have to learn to read the chords and say these chords together. This song went over into the key of C for 3 measures or whatever. By the way, but when you're not at that place yet, what I'm telling you to do is keep your legs under you. Probably only one note changed. Probably what changed was the 7th note or the 3rd note. You know. Perhaps, so I'm just saying, if we were in the key of D, we went to the key of G, the C, the 4th note would have gone from wait a minute, yeah, because I'm sorry. If we went to the key of, so the 7th note would have gone from a C sharp to a C. If we went in the key of D, we went to the A, the 4th note, the G would have gone to a G sharp. So I'm not trying to get you to remember that. I'm trying to get you to say, hey, you can figure that out. That is no big deal. And then this thing I said, what a wonderful idea. What a wonderful idea that if you went to the key of A and you didn't figure it out, what changed? 6 of the notes in the D scale work. If it went to the key of G, 6 of the notes in the D scale work in the key of G. So you don't have to figure it out perfectly. And your ear's telling you what's wrong. So if it's wrong, guess what? Don't do that until you get your C legs and brain legs under you and figure out what's going on. Okay, now we're at to play and sing. This is our question time. It's time for questions. It's time for amazing questions. So as I say this, so we're at to play and sing, and I want you to ask all your questions about music, about musicks, and so I was talking about 2 weeks ago about the kinds of instruments, and I didn't want to be boring about that, but I know that some of them are really exciting and interesting, and it's, for example, the piano is a percussion instrument. And it's all, the names of things are how do they make sound. Well, percussion instruments make sound because something hits them. Something hits them. So a hammer hits a piano, and a piano and a xylophone and a zither. No, I'm kidding. A piano and a xylophone and a vibraphone are all what's called tune percussion. And you could put timpani in there if you wanted to. You wanted to be, picky about it. What I'm saying is you hit it and it makes a pitch, as opposed to a drum you hit it and it doesn't make an organized pitch. And I think that's interesting. The hammer dulcimer is a percussion instrument, and that's an Appalachian where it's really cool. It's got a bunch of strings. And with little hammers you beat on the strings. And I'm just trying to think of some of the interesting, and I just think it's interesting. The only difference, for example, between a mandolin and a violin, there's no difference, except they're tuned the same. They're the same size. The mandolin has got doubled strings, 2 strings for every normal string on a violin. And then secondly, the mandolin has frets. Now, what does frets do for you? What frets do for you is they basically say, they say, hey, I want to play this note, okay? So on the if this was a violin or a viol or whatever, I'm just saying, if it was an unfretted, no frets, to play this pitch, I'd have to hit it exactly right. Exactly at this place. I couldn't hit it here or here or here or here. What frets do is they make it so that if I hit anywhere in this inch, the fret causes the string to stop here. So that makes it easier to play because I don't have to be as precise. So I just think it's very interesting that a mandolin is just like a violin, except the strings are doubled and it's got frets, making exact placement not as necessary. And you'll notice violinists sound horrible for the first 4 or 5 years of their lives, just like oboe players and clarinets. Clarinet's a beautiful instrument. But for the first 4 or 5 years, clarinets, oboes, violins, oh my gosh, are so horrible. And for the violins, it's because, my gosh, they got to get that position so exact. It's not good enough to do that. So just to mention it, in the strings, there are, and again, this is if you're like, I am not. If you're like, because the strings, there's only one set of strings. It's the content strings. No, it's not. No, there are fretted strings, and the bass, and the guitar, and the mandolin, and the ukulele, and there's unfretted strings, the violin, and violas, and cellos, and double basses. And the double bass is called double bass because it's written in bass clef but the note that it plays is actually, it says it's this A, but it actually comes out an octave below. So anyway, I'm just trying to think if there's any other instruments, any exciting instruments to mention. It all depends on what you like. There's I'm thinking about Ebo, and that's not a different instrument though. There's the Chapman sticks, and just all kind of crazy things. Fascinating, the kinds of instruments and what people can do with it. So, so here's a question, and this is not my special question yet. So it says, I am very methodical, and I'm very methodical and careful, and like to have a plan. How does that affect me musically? Well, there's oh my gosh, there's so many personality tests. I use I'm sorry. This is definitely the 50s. I use the Myers-Briggs personality test. Myers-Briggs, Kiersey Bates, and it's the only one that's seemed effective to me. And in that, there are 4 primary personality types. And the reason that don't check out on me, I'm trying to say, so the people there are 2 kinds of people who are careful and methodical. And students, about a third of my students are this kind of student, and that musicians. And what you have to look out for, so what those people do really well is they execute procedures well. This is how you should practice. This is how you... I'm laughing now because I'm thinking, I just had a discussion with one of my students who's not doing that, who's that personality. I'll have to beat him up or something. Is that they are good about doing things the way they were told, unless they're stuck up, as so many of them are, and they for some reason think they know more than their teacher. But regardless of that, so they're really good at, it's like, tell me what to do, I will do it, and you show me how to do this, I will do it. What that person has to watch out for is, and I've said this, and think about this, and everybody needs to think about this, it's like there are no songs that you like because they were so careful and they were so methodical. They were so just structured as heck. You like songs, everybody likes songs because, now, again, people will do stuff like, well, I like classical, and I like, one of my favorite, the second act of, second movement of something by Mendelssohn. And you listen to that, and they would listen to the classical piece, and they say, "Oh, that's not the notion." But it is. It's 100% the notion. And so it's like, and I think I said it a week or 2 ago. Like, so Beethoven's Fifth is what is it? It's powerful. What is it? It's powerful. It's you can say it's pompous if you wanted to be. What I'm saying, these are all emotional / psychological. So you can say psychological if you don't want to say emotional. What I'm saying is all the music is meant to move people, and that is a very good thing. And so all I'm saying is, your music, you have to move people with your music, and you have to move yourself with your music. You have to be like, man, that was cool. That was deep. That was heavy. That was powerful. That was made me cry, made me laugh, made me skip about like a calf, which doesn't happen a lot. Anyway, so you have to be careful. These people who are methodical and careful. Now, some people will push through that. That is that you need to watch the video that's coming out, the 6 Deadly Practice Sins, and the first one, just the concept of that there are people who are organics and inorganics. And organic is people who are, we could call them naturals. In other words, without a lot of effort, they're playing very well, and that's several factors, and which it pretty hard to duplicate. And then the good news is that 70% of the famous and awesome musicians in the world are not organics. They're not naturals. They work on things, and they figure out how to do stuff, and and that's us, So anyway, the point of saying all that is So some people will be methodical and careful, and they will push through, and they will. I'm talking about they'll despite that sort of clunky, nerdy handicap, they'll go ahead and because they either work a lot or they have these organic skills, they'll push on through the fact that 20 people act like that, like they do, all and they'll just get stuck and nothing will ever happen. And then some few people will get through and be able to make that work. And so you have your successful musical nerd, which is okay, But anyway, so if you are very methodical and careful, and you like to have a plan, you should work your plan, get your plan. But remember that music is about excitement and beauty and power, and give yourself a big dollop of that. And then probably in your own playing, the excitement of your playing, the interest of your playing, you need to exaggerate emotions / psychological aspects. If it's supposed to be powerful, you make it, elephantine. You make it epic. If it's supposed to be sad, you make it maudlin. You make it overdo it to you methodical, careful planner you. So everybody else will probably just hear it as, wow, that was beautiful. Wow, that was so strong. So in other words, to the careful, methodical person, they're like really in their mind, they're thinking da 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 da. All the other people who are listening to it are just going, yeah, that is cool. That's got a beat. I like that. Anyway, so to put the emotion / psychological power in your music instead of just looking at it, music is not a sum of numbers and correctly applied things. It's not. And you've all heard people play correctly and you were not moved by it. So you want to be the person who plays correctly and it's moving. Okay, so there you go. Now, the last question is, yes. Okay, what is the difference? Somebody asked this. What is the difference between a fiddle and a violin? What is the difference between a fiddle and a violin? So a violin has strings and a fiddle has strings. That's the difference. So a violin has strings and a fiddle has strings. So remember that when we're talking about the different kind of instruments, that's very important to remember. Okay, so to sum up, I'm Mark Black. This is Mark Teaches Music. I'm very glad you're here. And like I said, if you want to know some about lessons, taking lessons, go to www.dallasmusiclessons.com. And if you've got any questions, so this part is over. So you can put in the comments. You can send me an email at mark@dallasmusiclessons.com. And as always, seriously now, until I see you again, I want you to have fun. I want you to be awesome.